Greetings there, chocolate custard. Most of the crowd, they are thinking about Layer1 Coins. We want to get ahead of the crowd. You are listening to me because we're friends, because you're a kind baby doll, baby cake, pumpkin, cherry pie, and we have to have a competitive edge. Otherwise, we are wasting our time. If we don't have a competitive edge, we should just be buying Bitcoin and Ethereum. But I think we can do better than that. And it's not just thinking, I can feel it in my loins. I can feel it in my left knee. I can feel it in my pointy elbow and my earlobes. Deep in the soul. Everyone is thinking about Layer1 Coins. Go, don't watch, but go look and observe at the other YouTube and Twitter influencers. What are they talking about? Layer1 chain, Layer1 chain. This is mid-curve thinking. Like I said, all right, I always say this, all right? Noobs think about today, but slightly better noobs think about yesterday, the past, okay? If you want to be a baby doll pumpkin cherry pie, chocolate custard in a cup, who has a competitive edge, you think about the future, okay? Living in today and living in the past is a noob mid-curve play. You are not going to make it. Living in the future is where you want to be. They are all thinking about Layer1 chains. Why? Because those were the narratives that formed in 2021. All the Layer1 chains. Why? Because Ethereum was expensive. That's all they can think about. Let's read. So you're thinking, what's the future? Tell me what the future is. I'll tell you, sit down and put your mittens on so the bones in your fingers don't get too cold. Look at this. You should be asking, which applications should we buy? Ask that question. Don't just go buying all of them because 99% of them are absolute poop. Sludgy poop from the sewer. You don't want to be buying everything. Just think. Okay, that's where we're exploring. So I'm telling you right now, the L1 narrative is from 2021, dead. It's as good as dead to us. You can make money, but I want you to think about who's making money. And you might say, well, it's the people of the best chains. And then I'll ask you, okay, which are the best chains? And you'll say, I don't know, maybe Ethereum. Okay, there's no money to be made there. You know that. What about the other chains? Unfortunately, people will tell me the best chains are, and it will just be the most popular ones. They'll say Matic, BNB, etc. Wrong, wrong, wrong. Completely wrong mindset. That's not what you want to be looking for. You're not going to make riches there, all right? At all. Don't even think about it. You know how crypto works. When you buy high, you get wrecked high. You can't do that. You can't be following the crowd. Every single YouTube influencer talks about Layer1 chains. Every single one. I've been talking about this, by the way. I'm going to show you some clout tweets in another video. But end of 2021, literally December 2021, I was saying, guys, I'm very bearish on Layer1 chains because every single YouTube influencer, their top 10 coins are all Layer1 coins. Polygon, Solana, Avalanche, Matic, woo, all of these BNB, every single one was Layer1 chain. And they throw in some experimental ones there. And what was interesting, none of them said, hey, do the sacrifice phase for Pulse Chain and PulseX, right? None of them said that. None. They don't know what they're doing. And we know they don't know what they're doing, right? That's why we always got to be a step ahead of them, okay? So, interesting edge that I'm going to give to you, right? Competitive friendship edge. A warm handshake in front of a fireplace. Crypto never resurrects narratives to mania status, okay? Deep within my tweets, friends, are these philosophical crypto, casino, dog logo, meme, imaginary token thoughts. Okay? I'm telling you, let's read this again. Crypto never resurrects narratives to mania status. Isn't that unfortunate? It's true, though. It's true. That's why I've said noobs, mid-curves, think about today and yesterday. Okay? Trying to use yesterday's narrative and say, oh, retail's going to come buy it again. No, they won't. No, they won't. Retail is smarter and dumber than what you think. Okay? Retail is smarter than you in terms of a lot of them start getting into a trend early. They hear about something. They're very receptive to the super cool new thing. But me and you, even though we're friends, it's very hard for our brain to see what the very new cool thing is. We can't see it. You know why? Because we're very skeptical. Because we've seen everything. We've seen so much. You know, who cares about that coin called Doge? You just got a picture of a dog. Yes, that's revolutionary. Yes, that's revolutionary. Man's best friend, meme, store of value. Okay, you know. So there are other things coming, right? Now, obviously, Doge had a mania, and you want to pay attention, okay? Because you know, I've already told you, Doge did 220x. So when I tell you this story, your brain is automatically absorbing and listening to my words and saying, okay, I understand it. Doge did 220x off Elon Musk pumping. And then we had all these dog coins that erupted out of it, like cities sprouting up out of nowhere, like little mushrooms, pop, 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 pop. Everyone's doing dog coins. Dogs, man's best friend. You learn from my videos and my tweets. I'm telling you about memes. And, you know, if you watch the news, they don't always put, like, people dying. There's, like, some comedy. There's, like, you know, a stand-up comedian comes in, makes you laugh here and there, and then they go back to the killing, right? So memes, they have a place in society. They do. And it's all about the network effect. See how I've just described to you off the top of my head the whole canvas here, right? But you're only paying attention to what I'm saying because you know Doge did 220x. It was so powerful that your brain decided to learn. But I'm telling you right now, same as me, there are other future retailer capturing narratives that are on the floor right now. But none of us will pay attention. So I can tell you about some revolutionary like NFT, gaming, metaverse, and they're doing it this different way, and someone's going to have middens on. I can tell you about that, but you're going to go look at the chart and be like, it's down 93%, man. No one cares. Okay? So I'm telling you right now, crypto never resurrects the narratives back to mania status. These retailers, they're smart. They get onto the trend early. But where they become dummy dumps, how they go from peanut brains. So they start as peanut brains. All right? You remember the mid-curve meme? Let's get it. The mid-curve meme, friends. One of my favorites. The mid-curve meme. Right, the mid-curve meme right here. All right, let's look at it right here. See the mid-curve meme? They start as peanut brains. All right, let's move this to the side. They start as peanut brains. So they have an idea. There's a little peanut in his brain here. They start here. But then they become mid-curvers. And they never end up super high T, ever. They remain mid-curvers. Why? They keep buying highs. They get ridiculous. Okay. They start buying highs. That's why. Okay. And they think so linearly that nothing can ever be expensive. All right. Retailers, but once this happens, once this journey happens where they finally when they realize, oh, I'm a peanut brain and I'm on the right side. And then I get this euphoria mania wave. By the way, they never call it that. They just say it's always just getting started. Okay. So don't think it's easy. I'm describing to you what happens, but it's not easy at all. No one ever believes they're the top. Everyone says we are just getting started. We are so early. Here are the valuations. It could be like 30 billion and the Fed's printing and cutting rates. And here's this what this other coin did. All of those things get thrown in, just feed. And people want to believe it. They'll believe anything. They'll believe anything except, hey, the party is actually stopping. You should be getting out. And the party's not going to restart for another 3 years. No one wants to hear that. No one wants to hear that. My God. Imagine you went to your friend's Bucks party in Vegas. All right? And imagine you got there and you're there for 10 nights. And then on the first night, someone says, this is actually as good as it's going to get. It's time to go home. You know? That's what it's like. But then you find out on day 2 to day 10, everyone gets absolutely toasty fried and they regret it by day 11, right? But you left on day 1. You're not going to feel good. And by the way, if this ever happens to you, I hope it doesn't. Just stay there from day 2 to 10, all right? Just stay there and get toasty with everyone else. You're not going to feel good. You're going to think you feel good because you're a bit healthy, but it's the same thing with these market cycles. No one ever wants to believe it's over. So this is why, look, the retailer narratives never come again, friends. They always get something else. They always do. But unfortunately, you don't know which one it's going to be. There's just so many endless possibilities. There was DeFi 2.0 in 2021, which was a downgrade from DeFi 1.0. but retailers ate it up because they saw 20,000% APY in Olympus DAO. This is, I'm telling you, it's not so easy, you know? So retailers, they have a mind of their own. The normies, the mid-curves. Mid-curves in masses. Actually, they're peanut brains in masses when you think about them. They start off as peanut brains because they get into it early. But you never know. It can be a downgrade of something you already know about. It can, right? That's what happened with DeFi. The DeFi 2.0, isn't that amazing? How did that capture everyone's imagination? Because of the APY. It allowed everybody to dream about what happens if this stays above $300, I've got 20,000% APY, I'll be a millionaire. Everybody said that. It captured their imagination. Very hard to know what's going to go viral enough to capture everyone's imagination. But we have a strategy for that. We'll make another video on it next time, okay? So where do we go from here, right? Now, it ends up with ChainLink, my tweet. ChainLink-powered apps are a long-awaited for us to buy. Because everyone knows about the Layer 1 chains, friends. Everyone knows. And we can go look at some charts. I don't want to look at some charty charts. But there's a difference, right? You can go buy Polygon, but I don't like this chart. I've told you right now. By the way, guess who bought it here and sold here? Go check my tweets. I was selling it the whole way, right? I bought here. This is Matic Ethereum, by the way. This is Matic Ethereum, right? So 1 ETH would become 22 ETH, 30 ETH up here. Yes, made a prophecy here and it was one of my prophecies. But I got out. And I don't care. I don't care that it's still up. Don't care at all. The risk reward up here is completely different. You see, look at this burst you had. You had this long phase of, this is crypto bear market. And then you had this explosion up here. But buying it up here, where's your edge? Ethereum maxis shill it. It's a fake token, doesn't even need the coin. It's fake scaling, right? So you don't even really need it. So, and why that's important is, why I say that is, when there's a red candle in Polygon Matic, which it will be eventually one day, you have to be convicted that it's going to go up, okay? Because you will get people on YouTube and Twitter and also the influencers who shilled it, by the way, they will tell you if Matic does this, they will say, okay, Matic is down because you don't even need the coin. It's fake Ethereum scaling and it's just not cool anymore. And it's got is like coffee sponsorships and all these other sponsorships that, by the way, friends, here's a professional secret tip for you. Sponsorships don't mean anything in crypto, all right? Sponsorships are fake. They are fake, short-term network effect boosting stuff, but it doesn't work. You know why? Because people think traditional finance, old world network effects have any relevance in crypto, which they don't, right? For example, do you know who got a sponsorship with Polygon? Starbucks, literally a coffee club. Do you go out there looking for Starbucks maxis? When you're out in the club and you're peeking to some energy music and you're having some shots with your friends, you're lining up in the bathroom, you come back, you're like, oh my God, I want to find the Starbucks maxi out there. Think about it. How stupid does that sound? No one cares. So many people still haven't caught on to this. They think this is actually boosting everything. It's not, man. We are the new bleeding edge. We're setting the new trends and cultures of society with crypto. It's just that we're so small, no one takes us seriously yet. But our memes will transcend reality as every year goes on, as the price goes up. I promise you that. Okay? So Matic up here is a terrible trade. I just think it's, I don't even, by the way, if it goes up here, you got to get out. If it does another plus 100%. So you think, what are you risking? So I just want to show you, right? What are you risking? Are you willing to let this go back to minus 95%? Because that's what you'd be doing here. What a great trade. Wow, risk one and make one. You may as well go put your money on a leverage exchange and do a one-to-one trade if you're going to do something stupid like this. Okay? So this is a layer 1 chain that people call a winner. You don't want it anymore. It's shilled everywhere. Okay? So why I've mentioned in my tweet, ChainLink. These apps, okay, they are not made yet. Okay, so all now ChainLink is doing is providing feeds, but in the future, it's happening right now. People will hook up their own data. Okay, people will hook up their own data, friends, and they're gonna put data in places. I always draw this little thing. So there's going to be data points everywhere. I know data's not sexy, friends. I know data's not sexy. All right, all these data points, and they are going to be redlined. You see this little ChainLink? No, all of them connect to ChainLink. But here's the thing. All these data points, right? And when I say data points, like I said, could be the United Kingdom health records. It could be Aave money markets. It could be a bank's credit scores for people by number. It could be people's weight. It could be people's health status. Do you have a disease or not? A lot of these things. What about car insurance? What about weather insurance? So many data points come put in, and then you are an entrepreneur over here, right, with your cute little hair and your smiley face, right? And here's your little smiley face. You are an entrepreneur, and they will say, hey, man, I can make this new innovative idea, this business idea, right? Let's just call it X, okay? But here's the thing. But to make the idea, I need data points. And what you say is you go, okay, I'm going to grab data point 1 and data point 2 and data point 76, and I'm going to create this application in crypto. But without ChainLink, I was never able to do that. What I'm describing to you is Uber. Uber needs Google Maps, it needs Stripe, and it needs Twilio. 3 key services. Google Maps to tell the driver where to go. Stripe, I think, is to pay the driver, the payment part, and Twilio is to talk to the driver. 3 key functions. Without them, Uber doesn't exist. Okay, so that's how early we are. Hopefully we'll be able to get on top of these things once they start fleshing out. But right now they don't. So all we can do is, why don't we bet on the infrastructure play? So we basically get to invest in Google Maps, right? Because you're thinking, oh my God, if someone had a Google Maps thing, then there's endless possibilities. Endless. Okay, we've only seen Uber. Many people making different apps, right? So this is where we're going in the future, friends. This is what's happening right now. But what do you do? So what do you do? Well, luckily for you, you have a baby doll pumpkin cherry pie friend who likes eating chocolate custard in a cup. Wow. Don't we have an interesting chart here of Linky Boo? Now, ChainLink, I've put it on a linear chart so you can see this is the famous Christmas tree pump and dump, right? It's gone to 0. But, okay, friends, look. You can put on a log chart and go, wow, oh, that doesn't look so bad anymore, does it? Right? But that still doesn't make you feel good because you're down 90%, right? But why I like it is, look, don't you think, friends, look, I'll just show you this linear chart. If you think that something as important as ChainLink is going to be down here forever, you've probably learned nothing about life at all right? I think even getting to here is a very conservative, racist, transphobic, anti-human, hateful homicide crime target, okay? But it's still huge because we're down so low. This distance, by the way, from here, up here, 350%. That's 4.5x on your Ethereum. 4.5x return on ETH, right? So you could literally put 1 ETH turns into 4.5 ETH, right? 1 ETH, and I'll write here, invested into Link, turns into 4.5 ETH. Isn't that huge? Because you go, oh, well, just assume ChainLink's like 10K one day. You're like, wow, 1 ETH, which is like, 17, 1800, can turn into potentially 45K. And you think, well, that's not 100x, it's not 1000x. Okay, it's not. But we look at this thesis, right? You can't get this with many other coins, friends. We can't. We don't know this stuff. We don't know the pattern, the formula of how we get from, okay, how are we going to go from the current world we live in and the future is going to go from step 1 to 10, and how we basically bring out the 4th industrial revolution. How do we get that? We can't have that. Sometimes, look, I'm not even here to sell you all this complicated stuff. I bought pictures of dogs. I bought a Pikachu coin. That was pretty good. You know what I mean? Like, it's not always as complicated, but with something like this, it's grand. It's rare. Okay? This is why, I'm looking at this. And going back to Polygon, okay, what if Polygon doesn't win? What if BNB continues? What if Solana comes out of nowhere? What if Avalanche does? What if NEAR does? What if some other layer 1 chain? What if Pulse chain becomes number 2? Right? What if that happens? What if it's literally Ethereum and then Pulse chain and then JP Morgan launches a chain as number 3. Like everyone else gets wrecked. You realize everything else was a pump and dump. That could happen. Doesn't seem likely, but they can happen. And what about the people who have been Polygon who see their money rotated into like Arbitrum or Optimism? What if a layer 2s take most of the share? See how all these things can happen. So you could be right about, oh, layer 1s continue to exist in the future, but there's so many. There's competition. This is what retailers don't get. So retailers eventually, they were buying layer 1 chains, but now they still are. It's a very common trap, friends. Most common trap is retailers completely underestimate the power and force of competition. That's why they keep buying stuff high, because they can never estimate future supply. Because that's what competition is, by the way. It's future supply of a current existing product or ID. That's all it is, right? Because when retailers are coming in, they go, this is one of one, this is one of one. And if you come in and say, hey man, you know someone can fork this, someone can copy this idea and improve it and tweak it, they will be like, nope, no they can't, this is different, new paradigm. Look what's happened. And I will finish back on ChainLink. ChainLink can't be copied. The network effect are the nodes. The little nodes, friends. You know, the little nodes that were connecting everywhere here? You can't copy that. How are you going to copy Aave, money markets, this and that? Now, other people can grab the feeds. They can. But ChainLink is going to be the first ones they go to. Okay? The network effect is growing so strong, you don't want to make an oracle. There's not enough money to be making that. You know where the real money is? The real money is in saying, all right, ChainLink's feeds is charging me like 5 cents per data or whatever. I'm going to try and make some sick killer combination of applications. That's where the real money is going to be made. That's what we're thinking about in the future. Now, it can still go to zero, of course. I know people get scared when I say this. You have to live in this world, man. Anything can go to zero. But I'd rather take my chances on this rather than buying layer 1 chains with all the other influences, all right? And don't forget, man, it's going to be a while, but don't give up, friends, all right? Don't give up. Eventually, the market's going to wake up and realize something's happening under the hood. And you know what else was happening under the hood? Our friendship being formed. Tell your mum and your dad that you love them.